The Real Mccoys, starring Walter Brennan, created by Irving Pincus.
Want you to meet the family known as the Real Mccoys. That's Grandpappy Amos, the head of the clan. He roars like a lion, but he's gentle as a lamb. And now here's Luke, who beams with joy since he's made Kate Mrs. Luke McCoy. From West Virginia they came to stay in sunny California. Oh, Grandpappy Amos and the girls and the boys of the family known as the Real McCoys.
Gentlemen, I'd like to say that I'm rightly proud and honored to be nominated for such a high office. And Please, I ain't finished yet. I accept the nomination with my promise to make this a hard, clean, honest campaign. And if you know Amos McCoy, you know he always keeps his promise. Thank you.
Ole, Senor Rampa. You make a wonderful president of the United States.
Oh, I ain't a running for the president of the United States, but it means just as much to me, though.
Well, what are you running for?
I'm running for the Grand High Imperial Mummy of the Ancient and Loyal Order of the Mystic Nile.
Wow, that is important. What does it mean?
What it means? It's only the sixth highest office in my lodge, that's all. I just choke up, Peppino, when I talk about it.
Well, Senor Rampa, when were you nominated?
I ain't been nominated. Leastwise, not yet. The meeting ain't until tonight.
Hey, the meeting is not until tonight. How did you know you were nominated?
Well, I get some inside information. Now, go on, get out of here. I got to finish my speech. Gentlemen?
Ain't you going to the meeting of the Mystic Nile tonight?
No, I don't think so, Sugar. I went last month, and I don't know. I ain't much for lodge doings.
Well, if you don't like it, then why'd you join?
Because Grandpa practically dragged me into it, you know that.
Well, Luke, I think it's kind of nice to belong to something.
Well, I like belonging to you, Sugar Babe.
Luke.
Well, besides, I feel silly wearing all them goofy clothes and doing that crazy handshake and all. That even Mac thinks it's nutty.
Want something to eat, Matt? Come on.
Luke, you ain't dressed, and this is meeting night.
Well, I thought I'd pass it up, Grandpa.
Pass it up? You can't, Luke. This is an important meeting. They're holding nomination for the Grand High Imperial Mummy.
Grandpa, I don't care much who they nominate.
Not even if they was nominating someone you knowed?
Oh, are you trying to say that they might nominate you?
Oh, no, that's silly. I'm expecting nothing like that. In fact, don't care one way or the other, but I think it's only fitting that should be there to cheer whoever is nominated.
Well, I'm very happy just sitting here reading the paper.
You just quit being happy reading the paper and get change your clothes.
You're really serious, ain't you?
Yes, I sure am, and I'm disappointed in you.
Well, all right. All right, Grandpa. Means so much to you.
Shit, like a loyal son of the Mystic Nile. Let me see it, son. Let me see it.
So, if it's agreeable to everyone, we'll hold the annual picnic 2 weeks from Sunday at Valley Park. Now, let's all pitch in and make this the best darn picnic that the Mystic Nile has ever had. And now to the last and most important business of the evening. Your committee's report on the nominees for Grand High Imperial Mummy. Guardian of the Oasis, may I have the cards, please? Thank you. In accordance with the democratic procedure of this organization, there are 2 nominees. The first is Brother McGinnis. Hey, that's me. The second nominee is Brother McCoy.
No wonder you dragged me along. You knew this all the time.
Stand up, Brother McCoy, so the brothers can see you. No, not you, Amos. It's Brother Luke McCoy. Come. Stand up, Luke.
There must be some mistake.
No mistake. It says right here, Brother Luke McCoy. Well, those are the two nominees, gentlemen, and may the better man win.
That concludes the business of the meeting this evening. Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
I move.
Meeting's adjourned.
How about that?
You surprised, Luke?
No, that ain't the word for it, Tom.
Well, I'll tell you how it happened. A lot of us felt that there was a need for young blood in the leadership. Isn't that right, Mr. McCoy?
Young, yeah.
Of course, it's going to be a tough fight, what with McGinnis owning the only hardware store in town.
Well, what's that got to do with it?
Well, all the members do business with him, most of them on credit. Knowing Mac, he's not going to forget to remind him of that.
Hey, that's fighting dirty.
Well, don't worry. We'll put up a fight of our own. We'll all get in there and pitch for Luke, won't we, Mr. McCoy? Well, come on, let's go get some coffee with the boys. We'll start mapping out our strategy.
Yeah. You coming, Grandpa?
Yeah, I'll be along.
Okay.
Well, Amos, what do you think about Luke being nominated, huh?
Oh, fine, just well.
Yeah, I'm glad it turned out this way. I was afraid it might be you.
What are you talking about?
Luke's a young man. He can stand a crushing defeat better than you can.
Well, what makes you think it's going to be a crushing defeat?
Amos, I'm the opposition, remember?
So?
Look at the record, man. Last year I ran for High Dromedary. It was a landslide. Before that, Guardian of the Oasis, no contest. Keeper of the Sands, same thing. Amos, when I'm nominated, I'm a shoo-in.
Well, why did he even bother putting somebody else up?
Amos, this is a democracy. Let's go have a cup of jam.
Don't touch me, McGinnis. I pay cash.
If I'm elected, I'll be an important man. Yes, sir, a very important man.
I know.
I'm on my way. Huh, Grandpa? Who knows? Who knows? May not be long before I can work my way right up there to the top of the pyramid. High exalted Pharaoh. I wonder how I'll look in them long red robes. Well, I better be getting to sleep. I'll need all my strength for the campaign. Good night, Grandpa.
Good night, Luke.
Be right in, honey. Well, night, Grandpa.
Hey, just a minute. We got to pull that boy down out of the clouds before he breaks his heart.
What do you mean, Grandpa?
Well, he's practical got himself elected.
Well, he's got a chance, ain't he?
Well, you know who he's running against, don't you? Mac McGinnis.
So?
Well, he's got as much chance of beating him as our mule has of winning the Kentucky Derby.
Well, I'm surprised at you.
What do you mean?
Well, giving up like that.
I ain't a-giving up. I'm just stating facts. Ain't nobody ever beat Mac yet. He might have a chance if one of us older or more experienced men was a running. Luke's young.
Luke's young, but he's a McCoy, ain't he?
Sure, but he can...
Well, since when are you admitting that a McGinnis can beat a McCoy?
I ain't admitting no such a thing. You know yourself that any time I ever had a run-in with McGinnis that I never let him get away with nothing.
Then why are you acting this way now? Quitting before the race even starts.
I ain't quitting. No, by gosh, I ain't quitting. You're right, Kate. I should be ashamed of myself even thinking of such a thing.
Now you're talking like yourself.
Before this campaign is over, that McGinnis will know he's had a battle on his hand. I'm going to roll up my sleeves for action.
And so am I. While you're out getting the men folks' votes, I can be working on their wives.
Now you're talking. We'll show that McGinnis what a campaign really looks like. We'll have us everything. Banners, streamers, parades.
Grandpa, how come you know so much about politics?
Well, you're joshing, ain't you? Why, politics practically run through the McCoy family. We had a second cousin once who was a notary public. Howdy, Brother Watkins.
Hello.
Hi, brother.
Thought you might like to know what Luke's planning to do when he's elected a mummy.
Oh?
Go ahead, tell him, Luke. Go on.
If I'm elected, it is my aim to serve in this honorable office to the best of my ability and to uphold the noble traditions of the mystic Nile.
What's new, Amos?
Listen to the boy, Sam. He's got plans, big plans. Huh, Luke?
Yes, sir. Yeah, big plans.
Like what?
Yeah, well, big.
Like Like we got an annual picnic. Well, Luke's for 2 annual picnics.
Yes, sir. Yeah, 2 annual picnics twice a year.
Yeah, not for that potato salad and coleslaw like the others have. Luke is fighting for dill pickles.
Big ones.
Hey, Sam, and that ain't all. He's going to see they put a little something in the punch.
Say, that would help to liven things up.
Oh, Luke's got a lot of good ideas in his head for that lodge. I'd think about voting him in if now's you.
Yeah.
There ain't no need for you to work as hard as this with a big, strong boy like Luke standing by. Hey, go on, give Sam a hand, Luke. Give me a...
Well, thanks.
Yeah, oh, don't mention it.
I won't forget this.
Yeah. Hey, come on over here. I want to talk to you.
All right.
Say, Luke, while you're at it, you might as well cut up the whole batch.
The whole?
Yeah, all of it. Now, look, Sam. While Luke's working there, there's a few things I think you ought to know.
Oh, yeah?
In picking a mummy, you got to be awful careful because it's a great responsibility.
And you know that McCoy can't hold a candle to me when it comes to experience, right? Well, of course. Why, this McCoy's just a sand flea, a beginner. I'm a chic first class. And that's why I say that every thinking brother has got to go along with my slogan. Let Mac lead the pack. Did you get it? Let Mac lead.
I heard.
Ready.
Never mind. You're too late, McCoy. This vote's spoken for.
Right now, I ain't interested in voting. Of course not. Luke just dropped by, give his jug a new sidey. Well, hello there.
If I'm elected, it is my aim to serve in this honorable office to the best of my ability and to uphold the noble traditions of the mystic Nile.
How's that?
Fine, just fine. That's hitting below the belt.
Luke's going to do a lot of things, too. If he's elected, why, he's going to have a checky tournament with prizes and everything.
Say, that sounds great.
McGinnis, how come you didn't think of something like that?
Well, I could have. That is, you and your checky tournament.
Well, I gotta get back to work.
Hey, why don't you leave Luke do that? He's been shoeing horses since he's 5. Huh? It'll give us a chance to have a little talk about the best sort of a fella to get him to be a mummy, you see.
Say, you be careful of that left front one, boy. She's skittery.
So, ladies, that's what my Luke stands for. A bigger and stronger ladies' auxiliary. More togetherness between the husbands and wives. And that's why I urge you to have your men folks go out and vote for Luke McCoy for mummy.
See, ladies?
Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy. We just come from town, and the word is that the campaign votes is really swinging my way.
Well, that's wonderful, Luke.
You know, Luke's running this campaign like a veteran politician.
Oh, Tom.
Well, it's true. You've come up with some great stunts, like sawing all that cordwood for Sam Watkins and shoeing Joe Martin's horse and the ladies' teas and everything. Well, that's shrewd politicking, boy.
Yeah, well, anybody could have thought of them things.
Yeah, but you thought of it first. Boy, we sure picked the right man when we picked Luke.
Well, thanks, Tom. You know, to tell you the truth, I never dreamed I had it in me to run a campaign as good as this.
Oh, you've got it, boy. You have got it.
Well, I got a lot more plans up my sleeve. Come on, let's go in the kitchen and get some lemonade, and I'll tell you all about them.
Grandpa, he really thinks he's done all this by himself.
Well, maybe there's a lot of excitement around. Maybe he forgot things.
Grandpa, you don't forget people that help you. Without you, he'd be nowhere. Why, he's acting downright conceited.
Well, now, Kate,
Grandpa, I'd like to see Luke get ahead, win this election. But if it's going to change his whole personality, I can do very well without it.
Here's what I wrote for my final speech just before election at the lodge tomorrow night. My friends, Patrick Henry said, "Give me liberty or give me death." John Paul Jones said, "Don't give up the ship." Tonight, I would like to add still another battle cry. A vote for Luke ain't no fluke. He didn't hear the best part. Liberty, equality, fraternity. These are the things I will fight for.
Hey, Luke, where did you get all that?
Hey, good, huh? I copied them out of Hassie's history book.
But, Luke, what's all them things got to do with the Mystic Nile?
Oh, well, some pretty famous men said them, so they must be good.
Don't you think it'd be better if you said what you feel instead of copying down what a lot of other men has already said?
Yeah, but, Grandpa, these other men, they was politicians, too.
Yeah, I know, but it appears to me if you said something about the lodge and what serving it meant to you and how you considered holding office a great honor and a responsibility.
Grandpa's right, Luke.
Well, you both really think I'd do better if I made a speech like that?
Well, I feel that that's what the men would want to hear, yeah.
All right. And that's what I'll give them. Yes, sir. I'll say, I consider holding office a great honor and a responsibility. Hey, that's pretty good, huh? That's pretty... I better write that down before I forget my thoughts.
His thoughts? Grandpa Luke's got so bound up in himself he doesn't hear anybody else talking. Well, he's going to hear me right now.
Hey, Kate, don't be too harsh on the boy.
Now, please, Grandpa. I'm going to have my say. Luke?
Just a second, Sugar.
I want to talk to you.
Kate, I had no idea all this could be so exciting.
I know, Luke.
You know, it turns out I got a real knack for politics.
Well, that's just what I want to talk to you
Tom
about.
thinks I can really go places. And why not? Why not? Lots of big men in public office started out just like this. I'm not saying I could get to be governor or nothing like that, but I'll bet you I could be something.
But, Luke, what do you know about that sort of thing?
Well, it's in our blood. Didn't Grandpa ever tell you about our second cousin that was a notary public? Now, look, Sugar, would you leave, please? I really got to get that speech wrote down.
Oh, what's the use? It's hopeless. I can't even talk to you, Luke.
Sugar, I know how you feel, but you just got to be patient. See, you got to get used to the idea of sharing me.
Sharing you?
Well, let's face it. From now on, whether I like it or not, I belong to the people.
That does it. Luke, this may sound like a terrible thing to say. I hope you lose that election.
You what?
I mean it, Luke. You don't care any more about that lodge now than you did last week when you didn't even want to go to the meeting. All you're interested in is a lot of glory for yourself.
Well, now, what are you saying, Kate? Now, that ain't true.
Oh, it ain't? I suppose you ain't taking credit for all them campaign ideas, and you know very well they was all Grandpa's. You haven't said so much as a thank you to him.
Well, now, listen, Sugar,
no,
babe.
No, you listen to me. If anybody should be running for that office, it should be Grandpa. He's got his heart in that lodge. He'd go out and work for it, and not just take the bows either. I'm ashamed of you, Luke.
Kate! Kate!
And that's why I say to you, brothers, when you mark your ballots tonight, a vote for McGinnis is a vote for sound administration.
And now we'll hear from our other candidate, Luke McCoy.
Oh, I lost the speech I had wrote down.
Lost it?
You gotta help me. I can't remember the words.
Well, say what you feel. Tell them how much you think of the lodge and how important it is that the right man gets himself elected.
I can't, Grandpa. You go tell them for me. But no, you go on now. You gotta help me.
Well, right now, my grandson Luke here has been sort of overcome by the great honor that's been bestowed on him. So, I'll speak for him. What he was going to say was a candidate, any candidate, should be rightly proud to serve the Mystic Nile. Because, brothers, this is a lodge that's worth serving. Oh, I know, to some outsiders it might look like, well, all we do in here is have shenanigans and hijinks. But there's a lot more to the Mystic Nile than that. Like raising money for charities and putting out a helping hand to them that needs it. in promoting brotherhood and good feeling in the community. If we had more of that in the world, why, we'd be a whole lot better off. And to my mind, there ain't no greater honor a man could have than to be asked by his brothers to sort of, well, help lead in this kind of cause. Well, I guess that's what Luke was going to say, and, well, I thank you.
And now, we'll all mark our ballots. And when you get through voting, just pass them into the aisles here for collection. Brothers, we have the final tabulation of the voting. Quiet, quiet. I give you your new Grand High Mummy by a landslide write-in vote. Brother Amos McCoy.
You see, Grandpa, the right man got elected.
Right, man. You mean you got me up there on purpose?
You bet he did. Last night, Luke came over to the house, and he convinced us all we were back in the wrong McCoy.
Luke McCoy, you've gone and tricked an old man, and you know something? Bless you first, son.